Today I'll be doing an oil change on this ML350 Bluetec, the diesel engine. So the first thing we have to do is remove this engine cover to get to the oil filter, which is here. And I will be extracting the oil from this pipe, so I don't have to get under the car. So this should be the easiest oil change for this Mercedes ML350. So the first thing we do is to just disengage this little flap from the engine cover, and that just comes out, and this should just lift up. There's 4 clips that's holding this cover in place, so this should just lift out. There you go. So there are 4 here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's how the engine cover sits on top of the engine. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put this tube down the hole where the dipstick goes, and I'm gonna push it down until I can feel that it's reached the bottom. So that's about it there. So now I've connected this bigger tube onto the extractor, and I'll start pumping. So after about 6-7 pumps, it's starting to flow. So I've got to keep an eye on it and continue to pump it as it's flowing out. Okay, so while the oil is being extracted, I will remove the oil filter, which is right here. This is a 14 flute 84mm tool, so it's just a matter of just loosening it. So I'll just let that drip down before taking it out. Okay, so the oil filter has now dripped for a few minutes, and I'm just going to take it out now to replace it. Just put it on my little container so it doesn't make a big mess. So I'll be using a MAN oil filter. It's a pretty good brand. This particular filter comes with 2 new rings, the big one and this little one. So the little ring is here and the big ring is here, so I'll just take out the old ring, and then this little one. Okay, that's out, and also the old filter. Just a matter of squeezing and pulling it out. So here's the new filter. Just put it in. So I'll take this ring and I'm just gonna put a bit of fresh oil on it before putting it onto the filter housing, so that when we replace it, it will be nicely lubricated. Similarly, here's the old ring, the new ring. I'm just gonna lubricate it. I'll also put some oil around. make sure it's in the right channel. So now I'm just reinstalling the oil filter. So I'll hand tighten this first. And as I'm tightening this, I want to make sure that there's no kinks in that ring. So just feel around the housing, making sure there's no kink. Okay, so now I just use the wrench and just slowly tighten it. It says 25 Newton meters, but it's pretty much essentially when the housing closes onto the plastic housing closes onto the metal bit. That's pretty much where you stop. And just feel around, making sure that the rubber ring didn't kink. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so that took about 15 minutes to extract the oil. Right before I started extracting it, I did check the oil level. Yeah, they were about just under 8 liters, so it was just kind of in between the two markers. So it was just in between the maximum and the minimum markers. So that's just under 8 liters, and that's how much was extracted. Okay, so I've put in 7.5 liters of oil, and it's pretty much done now. All I have to do now is to do a service reset. Thanks for watching.